Have you guys ever been given a take-home test and you find every single answer online, whether it's Quizlet or Chegg or anything like that? That is essentially going to be today's video because I am going to give you the correct answer at every single position, and I'm going to use the stats to justify it because as much as I love Freddie Freeman, he should not be ahead of Max Muncy. And Braves fans, they're not going to be happy with me, but it's the fact. So what we have in front of us right now are the current finalists for every single position, both in the American League and the National League, and you guys can see who's in first place and everything like that. So starting off with the American League, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the easy choice. There is absolutely no debate about that. He's got the average, he's got the home runs, he's got the RBIs, he has the OPS, so he should be in first place. That is absolutely the correct answer. In the National League for first basemen, we can see in front of us that Max Muncy's got the average, the home runs. Yes, he's a little bit behind in RBIs, but that's because he's missed a few games. But the OPS, it's screaming at you. Freddie Freeman, as much as I love the 2020 MVP, Max Muncy absolutely deserves to be the starter for the All-Star game. So I beg of you, please go vote for Max Muncy. Now, Freddie Freeman is your favorite player. I'm not going to say don't vote for your favorite player. That is just not fun. The All-Star game is supposed to be fun, so continue to do that. But in terms of who deserves it, Max Muncy is my guy. Second baseman in the American League, you have Altuve, who is quietly having a sneaky good season, 17 home runs. DJ, we don't even have to talk about him, but Marcus Semien, for me, he is going to be my guy because they have the same batting average. You have 19 home runs compared to 17, 50 RBIs, and also he's getting it done defensively as well. So maybe a week ago, you would go Jose Altuve because he was on that hitting streak, but that's why I try to wait as long as possible. Less than 24 hours remaining, I am going to go with Marcus Semien. But Jose Altuve, if you pick him, I can't really fault you for that. Moving on over to the National League, we have Ozzie Albies versus Adam Frazier. The fact that Gavin Lux is in this spot as opposed to Jake the Rake Cronenworth, we're all in the Crone zone. It just bothers me, but I still believe that Jake is going to make the All-Star game because if you guys did not know, we as fans, we pick the starters and then the players and the coaches, they select everyone else. So I'm almost 100% positive that Jake Cronenworth is going to be an All-Star. We have Ozzie Albies versus Adam Frazier. I am going to go with Adam Frazier, even though I absolutely love Ozzie Albies. Frazier has just been a doubles machine. He's always on base, and I just really like his game. Ozzie Albies, don't get me wrong, he is sensational, but my pick is going to Adam Frazier. He deserves it. Keyword, he deserves it based off the stats, unless you don't like, 4 home runs. Like, if you like home runs, you'd probably vote for Ozzie Albies. Third baseman, this is easy. We don't even have to talk about this. 924 OPS. I mean, the only thing that I could say is Jose Ramirez should have been in for Yohan Moncada, and there's a couple different players that we can talk about. Moving on over to the NL, we have Nolan Arenado versus Chris Bryant versus Justin Turner. This is probably going to be the toughest pick of because you have Nolan Arenado, who is just on fire the last week. You have Chris Bryant with the highest or the second highest OPS, and then you have Justin Turner with the least amount of home runs and RBIs. But for me, considering how good the Dodgers have been playing recently, they're beating up on the San Francisco Giants. This one's really tough. I'm going to come back to that one because I want to think on it just a little bit more. Bo Bichette, we're talking about AL shortstop. So we have Bo Bichette, Xander Bogaerts, and Carlos Correa. So as much as I love Bo Flo, he is not going to be my pick. We have Xander Bogaerts and Carlos Correa. So the batting average, Bogaerts. The home runs, Correa. RBIs, Correa, OPS, Xander Bogaerts, but the fact remains that Xander Bogaerts does not play the defense of Carlos Correa, so I am going to go with Carlos Correa. I mean, the dude almost has a 5 WAR, and it's not even the All-Star break yet, so as much as I love Xander, I personally think that he is one of the best offensive shortstops in baseball, but collectively, I think that Carlos Correa is honestly having an MVP-type season. We have shortstops in the NL, Baez versus Crawford versus Fernando Tatis. I love Brandon Crawford, but there is no debate in that department. Here we go, catchers in the American League. If you vote for Martin Maldonado, I just want to say you are a disgrace to the baseball community. Salvador Perez is he the easy pick? Yeah, I'm going to go with Salvador Perez. I know that Yasmani is actually having a productive season as he has the higher OPS, but I'm going to go with Salvador Perez. In the NL, we have Contreras versus Molina versus Buster Posey. This one is an easy pick for me. I mean, look at the difference in OPS. And here is where I just plead for you guys to listen up. Do not vote for Byron Buxton. The reason why I say that is not because he wasn't having an all-star season before he got injured. He's played in 27 games. His stats are really good, but in my opinion, the fact that most of these guys have played more games than him, they deserve it a little bit more. And same with Mike Trout. Mike Trout is not even going to be able to play in the All-Star game, so stop wasting your votes. I am going to say right now, the number one guy for me is Cedric Mullins. 323 average with 14 home runs, 30 RBIs, a 946 OPS. So Cedric Mullins is going to get my first pick. Then we have Michael Brantley with my second pick, and also I'm not really going in order. And I'm actually going to go with Aaron Judge. Or do I go with Michael Brantley or Adolis Garcia? Actually, I'm going to go ahead and change this. I love Michael Brantley, but I'm going to go with the first-timer Adolis Garcia because he also plays great defense, but then there's also Teoscar Hernandez. Okay, so here is my outfield. I have Adolis Garcia, Aaron Judge, and Cedric Mullins. Now, if you want to make the case for Teoscar or if you want to make the case for Michael Brantley, I can see why, but I'm going to go with Adolis Garcia because he has the better defense. Acuna, no questions about that. Nick Castellanos, no questions about that. And then the final one, Jesse Winker. I know that it doesn't look that easy, but those three are the only players that you should be picking in the National League. And the last but not least, actually, we still have to go back to the third basemen in the National League. So we have Yordan Alvarez for designated hitter, JD Martinez, and Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is going to run away with that. So now let's talk about the final votes. We have Nolan Arenado versus Chris Bryant versus Justin Turner. We know that the bottom guys are not as good defensively as Arenado, but I mean, offensively, they're just a little bit better. So, you know what I'm going to do is, the Cubs are not in first place. The Dodgers aren't in first place. The Cardinals aren't in first place. So I guess, you know what I'll do is I'll go with Nolan Arenado simply because he plays the better defense. He has 52 RBIs, 16 home runs. I mean, honestly, he made a play a few days ago that is just sticking in my head, and I think that's why I'm going with Nolan Arenado. So here we go. My final correct answers. We have Marcus Semien, Devers, Carlos Correa, Salvador Perez, and then my outfield is Garcia, Judge, and Mullins, and my DH is Ohtani. In the National League, we have Muncy, Adam Frazier, Nolan Arenado, Tatis, Buster Posey, Acuna, Castellanos, and Jesse Winker. So I'm going to go ahead and select those guys. Thank you all so much for watching. In my opinion, these are the correct answers, so I guess they can't really be all that correct if it's my opinion, but that's who I would vote for. Let me know in the comment section down below if I got anything wrong. Maybe Michael Brantley over Adolis Garcia. Definitely not wrong in that department, but I just feel like Cedric Mullins, Aaron Judge, and Garcia, they deserve it more than Mike Trout because he can't even play. Byron Buxton has 27 games, so please, if anything that you take from this video, vote Cedric Mullins. Let's try and get him to at least the number 2 spot, the number 3 spot. Let him be a starter in the All-Star game because a 946 OPS and also leading baseball in hits, we got to get him there. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about the results.